Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're in game number 2 of this best of 3 for the round of 16. It's a TVT with fantastic players, and we just had a pretty... I gotta tell you, Zombie, before we even start the intros here, I've never seen a TVT play out quite like that, with landed Vikings against bio and tanks being the push that wins. That was a fun one, for sure. But, yes, as stated, I'm casting tonight with Zombie. I am, of course, Rifkin. Nice to make your acquaintance, guys. And spawning here on the leftmost side of the map, representing Millennium, up 1-0 at the moment. It's going to be the red Terran player 4GG.
In the top position as the blue Terran, it's CM Storm's Polt.
Man, this gotta suck for Polt, too. Round of 16 is good and all that, but, I mean... He goes so far in Red Bull, to fall out at the round of 16, I would feel is almost like unacceptable. But at the same time, DreamHack has so many good players here in the round of 16. It's not at all crazy to consider that he very well could have been up against someone like Sue, or Jaedong, or anyone else.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of matches that he would not have been favored in, but this one especially, just because 4GG's TVT. Like, some people just have good matchups, you know.
Yeah, like
Joshi has
one
good
matchup.
TVP.
Yeah.
But 4G actually is like still God TVT. I mean, I haven't checked his his stats, his actual specific stats lately. I just from what I've heard and for what little we've seen of him, he's just still really confident in TVT.
Well, I mean, confidence be damned. The thing about 4GG that I gotta give this guy a little bit of admiration for, because he really deserves it. A lot of people kind of forgot that he streamed and streams like almost daily, because of course he went to Daily Motion, and a lot of people use Twitch over that. But one of the big things about 4GG, and this is what I really like, despite being a competitor, despite being in WCS, DreamHacks, IEMs, wherever he competes, he still streams frequently, and I love that. Because so many of our favorites, they stop streaming because they want to hide builds. They want to be like the WCS champion, and yeah, I mean, there's no flaw in the logic for that. But 4GG's been consistently online throughout his entire career, and I really got to give him some credit for that, because he still performs incredibly well, despite the fact that his builds are all out there. You just watch like 9-hour VODs of 4GG and figure out how he plays.
Yeah. Well, what's cool or not cool, I guess it depends on your personal opinion, is that he rebroadcasts for more convenient times.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Man, it was 4GG and Dragon back in the day. They're what really drew me into competitive StarCraft 2. More 4GG than Dragon, obviously, but I mean, these guys were my Terran go-tos, the streams I would always have open. I didn't even know about other games on Twitch. It's just those two back in 2012.
Ugh, you're casual off of me.
Rifkin, ugh. I forgot you started with League of Legends as well. Disgusting. Ugh.
Yeah. I remember when 4GG came in, and everyone was like, is he the precursor to the Kespa, kill move? And then 4G really wasn't.
Well, he was still OGS way back.
You know what his name was? Remember? OGS Finn.
Ooh, get some Marine there. Nice kill.
First blood.
A little bit scary because of course there's more Marines there, but this time Pult's a little bit better prepared, and I really like that he walled off.
Okay, yeah. So first of all, wall off. But second of all, 4GG did something that's really cool that we've actually seen people win games with just because they got this, but this Reaper. So they both opened up with almost exactly the same builds up until the differentiation between the Banshees and the Medevac. And, we had a player get one Reaper, scout, see that their opponent was going Banshee, and then win because he had defense and his opponent just didn't have the scouting information. Now Paul gets up here with a Hellion, so hey.
What is this?
Hey,
we're talking about scouting with a Reaper, he's scouting with a Hellion. It's gonna get an SCV kill for it.
Yeah, almost good micro from what.
What the what? Okay, so the Medevac is carrying across the map, but I mean, again, 4GG does have the Hellions. As long as he doesn't move out with these at an inopportune time, he'll be able to catch this as it unloads. I mean, you don't want to unload Marines into Hellions, that's for sure.
And usually the Banshee is about halfway across, so it's that indecision: do I try and attack and deal damage, or defend this drop? Okay, maybe it still is going to be halfway across.
This is actually going to be a little bit better,
yeah. Alright, so the Widowmine is just for the defense of the Marines, but he has to make sure that, it doesn't get target, fire
poor Marines.
The splash.
Just unload and die. Sacrifices his own Marine for the Widowmine. On the other side of the map, the Banshee poised and waiting to go in. Missile turret not up yet, but Polt is making a Viking, does have a Viking. And that cloak is not quite done.
Cloak isn't finished. The turret is done.
I guess the turret, that's pretty important stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So no one really doing devastating or really much damage, to be honest. But one of the big things that 4GG has is the advantage of, he's to take away the tech labs, possibly beat out a scan. Oh, he's going to lose the Banshee for this, though.
Yeah.
This is key. Right now, you guys can see precisely why we give him compliments on walling off. Because right now, 4GG's not able to do anything with these.
He's gonna have to wall off his natural, too. Like, when he takes it, whenever he takes it, it's gonna have to happen.
Well, this is a tank. It doesn't really need to be siege to hold this. So, I mean, Polt's got his second CC finished up. It's an orbital already. 4GG only starts his on low ground. A little bit behind in this regard, but it's not like Polt can make use of this just yet. Now he's floating it over because the Hellions have gone back home. But there's this really awkward stage in TVT, and this is for everybody, not just these two players, where, you know, the first 8 minutes of the game, you're kind of worried about aggression. There's going to be a drop. There's going to be a Banshee. There's going to be Hellions. There's going to be one of, like, several things. You just kind of make that checklist and keep ticking them off as time passes and timings run out. But finally feeling comfortable enough to expand, does move here to the low ground.
Yeah. The drop was doing a good job laying 4G's command center. 4G had enough of that. Just got the Hellions back home. Not a whole lot of Marines right here. And not the most worrying thing with 2 Vikings. All I needed is like to wait for 1 scan, which he has. Let's kill it.
A couple more seconds, he might have been able to escape that. Before GG, once again, looking to play mech. This is, it's really an oddity, I'd say, because there's so few Terran players who are comfortable playing mech. For what we witness, at least. Like, there's everyone knows how to play mech, but whether you're good and comfortable is a whole other can of worms. It's always really funny watching Innovation play mech, because, like, sometimes it's amazing and sometimes it's just so awkward. Like,
yeah. I mean, that kind of described as, like, Series versus Cure.
Yeah.
I know you didn't get to watch it, but sometimes it looked dominating,
yeah.
and sometimes it was like, alright, that didn't really work out.
Well, 4GG is busting across the map once again. He doesn't have the power of Hellions.
Yeah, he doesn't have the blue flame yet. He doesn't have the Viking count. But I just, you know, usually I'd be like, well, maybe his timing is past. But you know what? I just don't know. I just don't. 4G sees an opportunity and he usually takes it. I mean, one of the biggest differences besides like having a wall up on the main ramp and not having like these Vikings.
Repair hype? Anybody?
It's also that Catalina has a ramp for its natural, where that last map, what was the last map?
You know what? I'm trying to remember, and I don't. I'm having such a brain dead moment right now.
I can't.
What did we just play on? Foxtrot Labs. Nailed it.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, right? But anyways, yeah. So that one doesn't have a natural ramp, so that also helps with the like the Hellion bust that he did.
I feel like that guy from Memento. Just like your memory. Don't believe his lies.
Memento?
Memento? You not seen that one?
No, I'm making a joke.
Oh.
Ow, forget you.
Oh, okay. Anyways, Blue Flame is done at this point, so the Hellions do have that power. There's not combat shields on these Marines. Not that it really matters. I mean, it's an upgrade you're going to eventually want to get, but Stim is a much bigger priority. And quite frankly, these Hellions are going to just fry anything light alive.
Yeah. Denies a good half of the mining if he just stays there. He did take down the... He took down one of the Vikings. Oh, he took down both of the Vikings. So it's Polt boost over here. It's not going to be able to get it.
I mean, last game we got to see some pretty 4GG by keeping the Banshees alive in the early game, giving that little extra pushing power, that panache to bust through the natural on top of the tanks. But the thing that's funny is, while Hellions don't deal bonus damage versus tanks, you guys got to consider this is 8 damage times like 17 Hellions. They're gonna be fine against tanks as long as they can get in range.
Polt's going very tank heavy, and he usually is a tank heavy player, like even in like Marine tank versus Marine tank. And it's not really bad to go tank heavy either in bio versus mech. It just usually we see like more bio. They're really trying to do like a lot of drops, you know, really have the power of the mid game that you should have as the bio player. And Polt's being, I guess, like a little what's the word? Slow moving, patient. There you go.
Nice, he's the Comancer moving out. This is kind of a... When you see a mech player take a third base, I think it's a little bit more dire than, say, a bio player taking a third base, because those geysers are the difference of just making Hellions versus cranking out those tanks. So, I mean, right now, he's not really to worry about too much. Yeah, a lot of Hellions is scary, but he's not have to worry about that tank line. And now that he's going to be able to take geysers 5 and 6, we're going to start seeing a pretty heavy tank production behind this for 4GG.
Yeah. What's really nice about his Hellion style is, while it may be like, you know, really susceptible to like mass marauders and medevacs. It is mobile, so as long as you get good shots off, you're being able to protect both bases and then eventually all three bases. Not that Polt's really doing anything to like take advantage of that.
You know what's funny? Do you remember we cast a little while back Balloon versus Joxy in that random versus random show match?
No, I didn't cast that.
Oh, did you not cast it? Oh, sorry, my mistake. It was it was either that or the WCS America ones. It was something with Balloon though, where he had gotten Terran on the random, and rather than playing against his opponent because we started off behind, he just like rushed out to battle cruisers. And it's funny to consider, but that might not be a horrible choice in this one particular instance because 4GG. I mean, like yes, he invested in those Vikings early. But it's not like he's got super crazy air dominance. He's so tank and Hellion
That's
heavy.
so weird. He's still producing Banshees actually, so he's kind of Banshee heavy too. It's
everything he has is like shooting ground only. Is my point.
Yeah. So for sure, and it's not a bad move. You're right. Like people in Pro League, it's a legitimate strat against someone who goes mech. You try and surprise them with or just because supposedly as a bio player, you're supposed to be able to get like the bases faster, the upgrades faster, a better economy, so you'd be like. Theoretically, you'd be able to transfer in better, but
he was scanning. He was looking for that army, couldn't quite find it. Does cut Polt off from his own.
Just go into the main and natural. I don't even know why he's taking this fight.
Yeah, he could just completely circumvent this. Meanwhile, a small drop for the chase up the third here of 4GG, but man, he throws away a needlessly large amount of tanks, but with no anti-air to stop the Banshees. They're gonna kill everything. These tanks have got to run. He's got to pick them up. And the Medevac's only choice, and even the Vikings are waiting to say like, nope, not gonna happen. That third base from Polt's in some very grave danger, and 4GG, well. There's nothing stopping him from coming up here with the Hellions. These poor SDVs. Watch this work this kill number, guys. My fire be cleansed. Goes from like 9 to 26 in a matter of a couple volleys.
Tries to pick him out of medevac. It's just so like, oh, you came late, bros.
This missile turret is actually kind of a cute move, but it's not going to be enough. Polt in a lot of trouble right now. 4GG coming up with this crazy aggressive style. And while the Hellions are being sacrificed, they've done their job. They cleared out the Marines. There's no anti-air for these Banshees.
These can't deal with the Banshees. We've seen this happen once before, which is why we're not like, we weren't laughing at Hoji for doing the Banshee thing. It's like, it's legitimate against the bio player.
I mean, Polt's trying to get a Thor, which isn't a terrible idea because Banshees are light units. They take the damage really quick like Duelist, but I mean, it's kind of one Thor against the whole army. That's what this is going to come down to. I don't know if you can break the tanks with this.
Loses both bases? No, this is natural. I mean, could lose a third if it just flips to there.
Yeah, send the Vikings that way. Kind of zone in there. Polt does pick up, just go for it. So one last Hazav and attack. I mean, he's got a Thor in this. The Medevacs has got some Marauders, but in a base race, you don't win this.
No.
4GG's gonna be able to just produce. I feel like his production alone should be able to hold. The Thor's the scariest thing here, but I mean, it's one Thor.
Yeah, and he brings back like everything that he had running across the map, so it's gonna be enough.
Tank getting firing on top of Thor. It goes down. Polt's chances of winning out the door. It looks like he's about to be knocked out of the round of 16. You're Polt's, technically. 4GG is kind of like the European version of Polt, right? Like the adopted.
Is he? Oh well. Oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess so. Does he have a European name? Like MVP and MC do.
I have no idea. I just know that it's like, I'm a little bit sad because I love Polt, and I talked about big game for Polt, like when I see him do well in the series, but it's the fact that 4GG came in here with just dominance is the best way I can describe it.
A little bit. The thing is that like Polt is very like, he's an intellectual player, so you can see that he was trying to adapt the style from the last game. If it was a best of 5, no saltiness, he probably would have included like, a Thor a lot earlier, maybe tried to get that air dominance like you were suggesting and go like that way, wall off the natural, I don't know. But it's just like...
I feel like it was a mistake not to have expected Mecha to 4GG from the get-go. Either way, GG finally called. 4GG will take the series 2-0 and advance to the round of 8. So big congrats to him. Sadly, there is no losers bracket, guys. It's single elimination. There's no turning around for this.
So far, ZG is like 100% with her predictions.
Nice. So the small downside of this, though, is now we have to wait a little bit. I believe all the matches have concluded, so maybe they'll let everybody start early.
Oh wait, JK, Patience won against Chachi.
Whoa, did he really?
Yeah, 2-0.
That's
I was
actually really
thinking
impressive.
maybe. I just don't watch any Patience to know like if he's like consistently just getting lucky or if he's really good. But I was like, well, he does stuff sometimes, so I guess he could beat Chachi.